Institute was created in 1960 by the Ford and Rockefeller Foundations, and it was created to address the massive problems of hunger and starvation that were facing the world in the 1950s and the projections of famine across Asia for the decades to come. And it had a very clear mission. It was to reduce poverty and hunger, increase food security, improve livelihoods of farmers and rice consumers, all through approaches that would be environmentally sustainable, and especially through partnerships with countries across the region. Basically, I like to say that it was a case study in applying research to development. But development problems did have a scientific dimension to them. And it was the home of the Green Revolution that most of you, I'm sure, have heard of. And even though this is the Asia Foundation, I think it's always useful to think a little bit about rice and what it is. It is perhaps the oldest domesticated crop, domesticated somewhere between 10 and 14,000 years ago in one or two areas of Asia. I can't dispute about that still. It's tremendously diverse genetically, which I'll get to talk about in a few minutes, meaning it has a lot of opportunities for science to apply. But one of the key things to keep in mind, that even though it is the most important primary food in the world, and particularly in Asia, and certainly for the world's poor, in Asia, rice is much more than a food, as I'm sure Patricia knows. If there's a shortage of rice, it's an existential challenge. It's not like, oh, I'll go out and buy some bread instead. A shortage of rice or a shortage of a certain kind of rice can be socially very, very, very critical. And another very important part to keep in mind is rice flourishes in a monsoonal environment. Half the year over much of Asia, where torrential rain falls, soils are saturated, any other crop will die. So in these vast areas of Asia, the only crop that can be grown throughout half the year is rice. And so it has a permanent position. It's not a surprise that rice dominates agriculture in Asia. It's because it is supremely, superbly adapted and uniquely adapted to the environments of South and Southeast Asia. All of our estimates suggest that demand for rice is going to continue to grow over the next 50 years or so. And this is a projection up to 2040. And we can see that this is today's demand. We're expecting Asia rice demand to grow about this much. Africa, here in blue, will continue. You can see the demand for Africa increasing dramatically. But overall demand, by 2040, we're going to have to add another 112 million tons per year of rice production. A major challenge just to stay where we are. The problem we're facing is that yield growth rates, that is the amount of rice that's produced per acre or hectare, has really slowed down and is not growing fast enough. So there's a tremendous need for additional research to increase the yield of rice on existing lands, and particularly those lands where conditions are harsh and less favorable. And I'll say a few words about that in the future as well. We also have a lot of trends that are shifting how rice will grow and who will be eating rice. One of the big changes that we're going to be seeing in Asia, that's already happened in Latin America and of course in North America and Europe, is the shift from rural populations to urban populations. And around 2020, we're expecting urban populations and rural populations to be about equal, with urban populations becoming increasingly more important, rural populations declining. So those who are going to be feeding Asia will be fewer and fewer in number, and it only stands to reason they will have to be more efficient and produce more surplus to feed the urban populations.